Hi, good morning, my dear students. Then hope you are doing good at your home. Then the previous section we discussed about the Tarun's life and the family situation and his dream. What was his dream? He wanted to become a fastest runner in the world. And when he failed in his terminal examination, he was fully upset. Then let's start the remaining part. Shall I continue? Okay. Look at the textbook. Suddenly he heard a voice at his elbow. What is it, son? When he was sitting on the bench in the park, he heard a voice in the side of the elbow asking that what's the problem. Tarun turned to his left and they said a man of about 60. Then that time Tarun just turned his the left side, and he could see a man sitting near him. Then he looks like about 60 years old. I failed in 2 subjects, he replied in a depressed tone. Then Tarun replied in a sad or disappointed voice that then he had failed in his terminal examination in 2 subjects. The man smiled sympathetically and said, "Life is full of ups and downs, my dear son." Then the man smiled very sorrowfully and said that, "Don't worry, the life was full of ups and downs. If there is a sorrow moment in our life, there will be a good moment. So don't worry." Then, by the way, I am Ram Narayan, and you are one of the best runners I have ever seen. Then he began to introduce himself. Then he introduced himself that he was a Ram Narayan, and added that Tarun was one of the best runner that he had ever seen in his life. Actually Ram Narayan never ever seen such a runner in his life before. Ram Narayan, are you the same Ram Narayan who won an Olympic medal in the 400-meter race in 1960s? Tarun could not hide his excitement. When he realized the man who sat near him was the Ram Narayan, he got excited because the man who sat near him has won the Olympic medal in 400-meter race in 1916. He was a great personality. Then he wondered he can control himself. Then Tarun could not hide his excitement. He could control himself. Yes, Pat, came the reply. Tarun was dazzled. The man replied, "Yes, I was the same Ram Narayan." Then Tarun got dazzled. Dazzled means wondered. "Son, I have been watching you for the past 45 minutes, continued Ram Narayan, and I see a good future in you." Then, Ram Narayan said that he had been watching the Tarun for the last 45 minutes, and he continued that, "I see a good future in you." He had seen a good future with Tarun. While Tarun was running around the park, he was watching him the last 45 minutes. And he mentioned that he smelled a good future with Tarun. Next, Tarun could not help but blush. That time Tarun can't control himself from getting his face red. In that time, Tarun's face began to red. Why he can't control himself? Because it was the first person. It was the Ram Narayan who encouraged him. Then his father and his brother and mother and friends never ever support him. Never ever encourage him in his talent. Actually, we know that then the God blessed with him a good talent in running. We discussed that in the previous section. Okay. Then, and you need to do is keep that passion burning in you and never give up. Then Ram Narayan said to the Tarun that to keep his passion. What's the passion? To become a fastest runner. To keep the passion forever, never ever give up. Have you joined some training school? The man inquired. Ram Narayan inquired, had he joined any training school? Tarun smile faded and seemed distraught. That time, the smile just began to faded. Faded means began to fade. Fade means diminish or dim or dull. And seemed distraught. Distraught means looks as a worried. A training school is a very expensive, sir. I am unemployed, said Tarun, feeling happy that he could joke even in these circumstances. Even in this situation, he could made a joke. He replied that, son, to go for a training school was very expensive. Actually, Tarun said that he was an unemployed. He couldn't find any money for the intensive training. Actually, the Tarun just spoke in a joke voice. But Ram Narayan seemed pretty serious. I will train you if you want, but I put forward a condition. Ram Narayan took it at a serious. Then he told that, I would train you if you want. He told Tarun that he would train him if he want. But he put forward a condition. Let's check what was the condition. What's your condition? Tarun's voice showed curiosity and anxiety. With great anxiety and curiosity, the Tarun asked back him what was the condition. There is a race on Children's Day at Nehru Stadium. Children of your age are competing though. If you participate and win the race, I promise I will start training you, said Ram Narayan. Then Ram Narayan said that there is a race on the Children's Day at Nehru Stadium. Children of your age are competing though. If you participate and win the race, I promise I will start training you, said Ram Narayan. Then Ram Narayan told the condition that there will be a race competition on Children's Day at Nehru Stadium. Then if you participate and win the race, then he would ready to train the Tarun. That's no big deal. I can do it. Can't I? Thought Tarun. I will, sir. He heard himself saying with a complete conviction, with a complete confidence. And he said to Ram Narayan, sir, I can participate. I can win that race. Fine, boy. It's my job to get you entry in the race, and remember, you was to win. Tell me, what is your name? Asked Ram Narayan. Then Ram Narayan, that time Ram Narayan just remembered that he could only arrange the entry. Then, but the responsibility to win, it is a responsibility of the Tarun. And he told me, then he asked him about his name. Tarun Kapoor. Then Tarun just replied that his full name, and his full name was Tarun Kapoor. Tarun, I will meet you here after 5 days to give you your participation card. All the best, said the Ram Narayan and left. When he was going to leave the ground, he told Tarun that he would meet Tarun there on the park to hand over his participation card. Then he left the ground. On the way home, Tarun thought that if his father had not scolded him, he wouldn't have got this opportunity. When the Tarun was going back to home, he just thought, if he thought that if his father had not scolded him, then he would not have got the opportunity. And he just thought about his previous incidents in the failure in terminal examination, and the scold of the father, and the joke of the friends. Next, The next day brought a new ray of hope. Tarun got up early, had milk, and before his mother could finish his query on what he was up to, then he ran out and went to Nehru Stadium to check the details of the race. He was very happy indeed. Then the next day brought a new ray of hope. The next day, a new day of hope just break out. Then Tarun got up early. You know, that time, the next day, Tarun got up early and had milk. He drank milk and drank milk before his mother asking about what to do on that day. Then he just ran out and reached the Nehru Stadium to check the detail of the race. Then he reached on the Nehru Stadium and checked the detail of the race. And he was very happy indeed. Then after that, then completely or really he was very happy. Tarun started practicing zoology every day. He would get up at 4 in the morning and run up to 10 miles. Then Tarun started practicing zoology. You know, Tarun started his practice with a great excitement. Zoology means a great excitement. Every day he get up in 4 o'clock in the morning and run up to 10 miles. And every day morning he would run up to 10 miles. In the evening he would time himself according to the 1000-meter distance prescribed by the competition. You know, in the evening time he could find himself the time to practice the 1000 meter that is prescribed for the running competition. He wanted everything to be perfect. Then, you know, now Tarun wanted everything to do perfectly. It was for the first time in his life that he was demanding such a perfection in things he did, he thought. Tarun just thought that it was the first time. It was the first time he wanted to do everything to do perfect. You know, before that, before the previous days, and then he don't want to do anything the perfect. That's because he was not good in his studies. Then he also wanted someone to back him up, and so he told everything to his mother. You know, that time Tarun really needed a supporter. Then he selected his mother as a supporter and he shared everything to his mom. Tarun practiced vigorously for 5 days and then promptly met Ram Narayan to collect his participation card. He gazed at the piece of the paper on which his name had been printed boldly. It meant so much to him. Then Tarun practiced vigorously for 5 days. Then the previous paragraph we just discussed that after 5 days Ram Narayan will meet him on the Nehru Stadium. Then Tarun practiced vigorously for 5 days. You know, Tarun did his practice with intense energy for 5 days. Then after the 5 days, he promptly met Ram Narayanan. Promptly means soon. The very next day, after the 5 days, the very next day, he soon met the Ram Narayanan to collect the participation card. He gazed at the piece of the paper on which his name had been printed boldly. Then he just looked at paper that handed over by the Ram Narayanan. Then he could see his name had written on the very boldly. When he saw that, he was very happy. Then let's wind up the today's class here. Then I think you got an idea the second portion also. Then read very carefully. I here recommend you to mark some words that are not familiar with you. Then and I also want to write some questions. I think the last class I told you to write the first 4 questions. Then you are directed to write the another 5 questions. Okay. Then you have to write the 9th questions also. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching my class. Then if you have any doubt, don't forget to contact me on the WhatsApp. Anyway, thank you all.